one major problem. That crash site, 12 miles off the coast of Fort Lauderdale, is not close to the triangle's known methane deposits.
I can think of absolutely no geological process at that location east of Fort Lauderdale that would cause airplanes to crash.
But surveying the area around the crash site, Hawks found something else surprising.
It was a hole about 300 feet in diameter and about 300 feet deep. That's just not supposed to be there. Contact the geologist. I have a sinkhole. No, Graham, you don't. There's no sinkholes in that depth.
There are places around the globe where the seabed is marked by giant pockmarks, presumed to be the remains of giant gas eruptions. Could the holes Hawks found also be the signature of methane gas? Geologists find this highly unlikely. But then so is the grouping of these 5 plains, all within a mile and a half of each other on the seabed. The Bermuda Triangle has offered up another mystery, one that's fit to take the place of the legendary Flight 19. That case is now at long last ready to be closed. There's only one logical, tragic explanation.
Sir, please, you have enough fuel to reach us. Just keep flying toward me.
Baker! I don't think this is the right
direction.
MT-28 to Fort Lauderdale. Do you have a fix yet?
He established a mindset fairly early on, after he had realized he wasn't on the correct track, that he was in the Keys at Florida.
Air crash investigator Phil Giles believes that Lieutenant Charles Taylor developed a serious mental breakdown, a kind of tunnel vision that made him blind to any of the options he was offered.
I don't think you can be over the Keys. Our wind chart suggests you can't have been blown in that direction.
Today, this condition is known as spatial disorientation. It's recognized as one of the most dangerous threats to a pilot.
There was no shaking it. And this is not an unusual phenomenon. People decide on something, and then with the stress of the occasion, they will stick with that initial concept because in their mind, it's very real. Once he'd got this mindset, it was going to stay with him until forever because no one was going to jog him out of it.
The Bermuda Triangle did not bring the 5 Avengers down. Human fallibility did. "60 years on, the 5 planes and 14 men of Flight 19 are still missing. Submarine explorer Graham Hawks has one more mission in mind. Not to solve a mystery, but to pay tribute to those lost young men.
They've been sitting in absolute blackness, out of sight, perhaps out of mind, but out of reach. And I just have this aesthetic in my mind of coming in from the future with an underwater airplane and just doing a slow flyby salute, if you will, of these aircraft. I'd like to do that.
For the last 300 years, crop circles have appeared all over the world. But even after years of study, we still don't seem to know their true origin. Are crop circles something that occur naturally on Earth because of a changing global climate that is causing the migration of underground water? Or are they communications from the spirit world, as so-called crop watchers believe?
There were 2 balls of light that came over this one area of the field. And the crop went down in a matter of seconds, just like some energy was pushing it down.
Are crop circles the result of childish pranks? Nothing more than verdurous graffiti?
These two men claimed they had been the source. They had made the crop circles.
Some crop circles are hoaxed. But what about the subset of circles where scientists have found evidence of radiation exposure and melted meteor particles normally found in outer space? Is the government involved? Have fields of grain become massive target ranges where secret agencies test the latest Star Wars weapons, only to then try to buy silence from the locals?
I have spoken to farmers who have been approached and paid money to destroy what has appeared in their fields.
Are crop circles real, or is the whole thing a hoax? And with all of the intricate patterns and the evidence of radiation and iron contamination, can crop circles really be hoaxed? Looking for answers, we asked students from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology to take up the challenge of scientifically creating a crop circle to precise specifications.
How's the radiation levels look?
What they discovered is that creating crop circles is a difficult and dangerous endeavor. In the next hour, we will learn what's really going on inside these fascinating structures. In Crop Circles, Mysteries in the Fields. Children have long had nightmares about getting lost in giant stands of crops. Crop fields are part of our mythology. With the power to feed or starve whole civilizations, these endless rows represent either the bounty of a feast or the despair of a famine. For the most part, these notions were limited to the realm of fairy tales and nightmares. But that all changed in the 1700s when the mythical qualities of the fields began to speak back.
The first crop circle documented, as far as we know, comes from English folklore. It's known as the Hertfordshire Mowing Devil, 1678. And this shows a circle spiraled around in oats, and this is cut into a wood carving. There is script that goes with this, which refers to the devil arriving as a red light from the sky and cutting a circle into the field of oats.
Crop circles were reported sporadically throughout the 19th and 20th centuries, with a curious buildup in crop circle activity and pattern complexity beginning in the last 25 years.
Farmers began to report in the late 70s, 1978, a set forming an overall geometry, 5 circles suddenly clustered, forming an overall geometry of a Celtic cross. It was 1978, and then continuously since then, circle with a ring around it, 2 rings around it. And then in 1990, for the very first time, we had 2 circles connected by a straight line. The phenomenon itself has not looked back as far as its complexity is concerned since that day.
By the late 1980s, hundreds of crop circles had been documented and researched, and each year they were multiplying and developing in structure, as if suggesting some sort of language getting more complex as the years progressed. England was infected with the beauty and mystery of these circles. Journalists, scientists, and the all-around curious flocked to Wiltshire, England to investigate the phenomena. Even the Queen had the book Circular Evidence included on her recommended reading list. Then, in the summer of 1991, the Today newspaper made an astonishing report.
Everybody was told by the newspaper that these 2 men claimed they had been the source. They had made the crop circles.
Enter Doug Browley and Dave Chorley. These men claimed to have made all the crop circles in England for the prior 15 years, using only a plank of wood and a rope. Under the cover of darkness, without their wives suspecting, Doug and Dave would sneak out and make each of these circles in under 4 hours. For many, Doug and Dave solved the mystery. But for others, Doug and Dave's story not only failed to explain everything, but also started an onslaught of copycat hoaxers.
This was the biggest setback in the serious study of the phenomena.
Although small, die-hard groups of scientists and worshippers continued the vigil, for the most part, crop circles dropped out of the public eye until this year. For reasons as unclear as the phenomenon itself, there is a sudden blitz of media attention about crop circles. led by the release of the Mel Gibson blockbuster Signs, no fewer than 2 feature films and 10 documentaries, are cultivating audiences. Why now? What has changed about the crop circles that warrants all this attention? What, if anything, has been learned about crop circles? We know that the crop circle's shape can be hoaxed, but what about the anomalous data that scientists are compiling during their surveys? Can this data be duplicated by science? We went to the campus of the prestigious Massachusetts Institute of Technology in Cambridge, Massachusetts, where we asked 3 students to look over the crop circle research and design an experiment to reproduce the results in the real world. Dom and Lisa, as well as their classmate Dev, are all members of the MIT Aerospace Engineering School. On this day, the MIT students are joined by Nancy Talbot of the BLT Research Team Incorporated.
Hi, I'm Lisa.
BLT is the only peer-reviewed scientific organization currently conducting crop circle research. Nancy has brought field samples with her that clearly point out the anomalies collected at what BLT considers authentic crop circles.
I figured that there are 3 primary components that you might try to replicate. The first parameter is expulsion cavities.
Okay.
These are holes blown out at the plant stem nodes. See that hole there?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They're much smaller, obviously, in wheat or barley.
Plus the expulsion.
Theories suggest that damage to the crops may have been caused by exposure to high levels of microwave radiation.
Now, these particles are pure iron, by and large, and they're magnetic.
Nancy showed them evidence of radiation exposure and elevated iron magnetite concentrations that are often distributed over the perimeter of crop circles. It wouldn't be impossible for a hoaxer to do this, but it would be very challenging.
Particular formation.
During the meeting, the MIT students witnessed firsthand the bizarre conditions of the plants that are found inside crop circles.
Can we pull one of these open and take a look at it?
Sure.
I'm assuming these are...
Are these?
Yeah.
The findings are so intriguing that Dom, Lisa, and Dev agree to attempt to duplicate the anomalies scientifically in a field of wheat in southern Ohio. They approach the problem in typical MIT style.
I'm definitely looking at it as an engineering project. We have a set amount of deliverables, and we just have to figure out what process do we do to recreate them.
If you do assume that they were man-made, that someone would go through all this trouble and take all this time and actually do a fairly high level of scientific study in order to create these things, it's pretty incredible that someone would take the time to do this.
Well, a generator out there, we can use as big an apparatus
We can't do that
if we
because
want.
we're gonna have to place it down all the time. Unless we plant ourselves, radiate, press down, move to where we press down, radiate, press down.
It's pretty clear with the evidence that they've given me and the samples I've looked at that this isn't just a couple of old guys with a board wandering around in a field. It might be a couple of old guys with a board and a microwave wandering around in a field, sure, but someone put a lot more effort into it than that. This is a great hack.
Little did the MIT students know they were setting themselves up for an adventure that would pit them against the very forces of nature they came to study.
Critics are raving about Lord of War.
Where there's a will, there's a weapon.
Ebert and Roper give it 2 thumbs up. Lord of War is a wild ride. Nicolas Cage has never been better.
Can you bring me The Gun of Rambo? Part 1, 2, or 3?
Oh, Lord of War on DVD January 17th.
You can be a hero, too. Take your family on a Walt Disney World vacation. A family of 4 can stay for less than $1,500.
We try a lot of things before we succeed. That's why we keep trying. Maybe all the times you tried to quit smoking were just practice. The 4-milligram Commit Lozenge actually doubles your chances of quitting. The Commit Lozenge. Real help, real hope.
Larry, it's time we got more life insurance. I've been looking. I can't believe how much it can cost.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need $1 million policy, just enough to help with the bills we'll leave behind. They're the loans and the credit cards and probably medical expenses, too. And I hear the average funeral costs more than $6,000. We really need more life insurance.
Sure do.
But where can we find affordable coverage at our age with your health?
It's not a problem. We belong to AARP.
Whether you're looking to supplement an existing policy or buying protection for the first time, you cannot be turned down for AARP Guaranteed Acceptance Life. You never have to visit a doctor or answer any health questions. If you're an AARP member between the ages of 50 and 80, your acceptance is guaranteed for up to $15,000 in affordable lifetime protection. With this plan, rates never increase just because you grow older. You can't be singled out for a rate increase. What's more, this insurance is yours to keep even if you live to be 100. And the AARP life insurance program is endorsed and monitored by AARP. No wonder so many people over 50 turn to the program to get the coverage they need. To find out more about AARP Guaranteed Acceptance Life, just dial this toll-free number and request free information by mail. There's no risk or obligation.
Receive a free comfort massager just for calling. Call 1-800-234-9070. Not an AARP member? We'll tell you how to join. Call 1-800-234-9070.
Thanks to the AARP life insurance program, we can get life insurance without a medical exam or a big price tag.
That's right.
All we have to do is pick up the phone.
Oh, don't bother. I already called and got this free information by mail.
Call now for free information and a free gift. Call 1-800-234-9070.
Let's all discover why no myth is safe, as Jamie and Adam leave no urban legend untested. New Mythbusters, Wednesday at 9 on the Discovery Channel.
Attention Zyprexa users. There is a time limit if you want to be part of any Zyprexa settlements.
This is serious. If you, your child, or loved one took Zyprexa and have diabetes, Zyprexa may be to blame.
I'm attorney Bob Goldwater. If you have taken Zyprexa and developed diabetes or any of these serious medical conditions, call me right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation.
Don't put this off.
Call 800-526-1414. That's 800-526-1414.
Knocking on the door this time.
I'm not knocking on the door.
And I'm pushing you in.
Get off of me.
Come on, they're gonna see you through the window here.
So are we saying anything in particular? Surprise! You've gotta be kidding me. Hey! Oh my God! Oh, freaking Is this for real or what? Rebuild your bike? No way! This is amazing.
Tomorrow at 10 Eastern Pacific, only on the Discovery Channel.
From their base in Cambridge, Massachusetts, Dom, Dev, and Lisa have agreed to create scientifically a crop circle in a wheat field in southern Ohio.
I think back lines from the machine.
Like any assignment at MIT, they dig into the available data to glean clues about the crop circle phenomenon.
Path there, path. You can see these track lines from the machine.
When and where will crop circles form, and how long do they take to produce? After 300 years, there are still no answers to these questions, only shadowy hints of deeper mysteries yet to be solved. The fortunate humans who have witnessed the formation of crop circles have reported the following. Crop circles usually are formed in the night. It can be raining or clear. Weather doesn't seem to be an indicator. During the formation of some crop circles, strange balls of colored light have appeared in the vicinity. There is no explanation for these unidentified objects, and they're not always present. Over 90% of the world's reported crop circles occur in the Milk Hill region of England, over 390 last year alone. How can this be explained? Some researchers attribute this abundance of circles to the unique soil conditions in the underground water table or aquifer.
The basic theory is that the large volumes of water moving underground in southern England acts as a dynamo, creating an electrostatic field which causes the plants to collapse.
Perhaps this ground electrical charge, which is greater than in other areas, could be functioning as an attractor to an atmospheric energy system, rather the way lightning is drawn to Earth because of the negative and positive charges.
The whole process can take as long as 4 hours, or as little as a few seconds. Human efforts are more predictable since the advent of Doug and Dave.
There's another well-known person there that makes them with a garden roller. It's a lightweight plastic garden roller, extremely effective, extremely quick. It's a quicker process than the plank of wood. You're still looking at many hours of work. A 75-foot diameter circle, which is a relatively small one in terms of what we see these days, would take something in the region of 40 minutes.
Colin points out that skilled crop circle makers are fighting a losing battle with the clock in a formation like Milk Hill.
You know, some of these are huge patterns of over 200. The galaxy at Milk Hill now is more than 600 circles. Some of those are 75 feet in diameter alone, all appearing in 4 hours.
Usually the crops are so damaged by the process of being pushed down that the patterns will remain until harvest time. In areas of high crop circle concentrations, such as Milk Hill, this means a loss of income for the farmers.
Oh, the Milk Hill Formation was absolutely amazing. It took up practically a whole field. I went into it 3 times because it was so enormous and it was so beautiful. It was just totally amazing.
The Milk Hill area has become a hub of crop circle mania. Several pubs are cashing in on the phenomenon. Shops sell crop circle memorabilia, and circle fans can even choose among a huge number of private crop circle tours. Die-hard crop watchers will go to any length to witness the supernatural formation of a crop circle.
Crop watching. Crop watching is when people go into the countryside at night time and sit on a hill and look at the fields below, hoping to see a formation being made, ideally.
Sometimes, the crop watchers are lucky and find themselves close enough to eyewitness the formation of circles. Danny describes a recent event.
There were 2 balls of light that came over this one area of the field, and the crop went down in a matter of seconds, just like some energy was pushing it down, and then another couple of balls of light came over and disappeared. It's miraculous. They're like miracles in the fields, and we can be a part of it.
It's undeniable that there is a crop circle phenomenon. People are creating, studying, and believing in crop circles. But what is the hard evidence that has been collected, and what does it mean? There are anecdotal claims of miraculous healing qualities.
I've heard of a couple of instances of people that have had cancer that have gone into crop circles and then had the cancer go into remission.
What does the hard science tell us? So far, the only peer-reviewed scientific work has been coordinated by the BLT Research Team Incorporated in Cambridge, Massachusetts.
The difference between the BLT attempt or effort and most of the other work is that it's being carried out by bona fide scientists using standard scientific methodology.
It was for these reasons that the BLT research team was selected as the official database for the crop circle construction experiment conducted by the MIT students.
You were saying that the geometry isn't absolutely crucial, so we didn't need to directly mimic another crop circle, but something along the lines of just an average circle and maybe something on the interior.
According to BLT data generated by Michigan biophysicist W.C. Levingood, there are strange anomalous findings common to all crop circles that they certify as real.
The primary energy signature in plants from an authentic crop circle would include some or perhaps all of the following. Expulsion cavities in the second node or perhaps the third and fourth. Node bending, possibly. In the soils, we would be likely to find these magnetic particles, magnetic spheres, again in the 10 to 40 micron diameter range.
Other, less obvious anomalies suggest we're dealing with ultra-sophisticated molecular manipulations of the environment. This goes way beyond what a hoaxer could achieve. The more they find out, the more experts assert that these effects are far beyond the scope of garden rollers. The MIT students are going to focus on 3 primary crop circle traits: expulsion cavities in the nodes, iron particles in the soil, and a balanced geometry. MIT is famous for tackling unusual problems and finding solutions. During the Second World War, MIT was instrumental in refining radar technology until the German Luftwaffe and U-boat wolf packs were virtually wiped out. Today, MIT works on everything from quantum physics to artificial intelligence. Dom, Lisa, and Dev don't believe in crop circles, but they've agreed to duplicate the findings of the BLT research team's crop circle site surveys.
Well, we're gonna do the crop circle, the engineering spec. I don't know if we're gonna touch the science side. We're not trying to explain anything necessarily. I think we're just trying to show that a number of the effects that we find in these crop circles, these ones that people find naturally, I guess you would say, we can do. Just say that, yes, it's possible for a person to do these with the right amount of equipment and the right amount of time.
Code White, do you copy?
Copy that. Hey!
Need a lift?
Yeah, good thing I have Esurance. I can report a claim 24/7.
But he'll never get his car repaired out here.
Not true. With its direct repair program, Esurance can always find you a reliable body shop.
But what if he had his own body shop?
At Esurance, it's your choice. If you're on the go, you've got to have Esurance.
Save on 24/7 claim service. Visit esurance.com today.
Need a guide? There's more to Nevada than you think. You just have to know where to look. So visit travelnevada.com/TV to receive your free visitor's information package, including the Nevada Adventure Guide. Nevada, the possibilities are wide open.
I'd get the baggiest clothes I could find and hide inside of them.
Are you overweight? Then try Hydroxycut with proven weight loss ingredients.
With Hydroxycut, I lost 44 pounds and 10 inches off my waist. Hydroxycut really works.
I'm Dr. John Marshall. I lost 29 pounds and 5.5 inches off my waist using Hydroxycut. I strongly recommend it, both as a new doctor and someone who used it with fantastic results.
Millions of people have used Hydroxycut, many with extraordinary results. They've made Hydroxycut one of the most trusted names in weight loss.
In studies overseen by a researcher from a major American university, subjects using the patented primary ingredients in Hydroxycut lost an average of up to 4.5 times the weight than with diet and exercise alone.
You can lose weight fast, increase energy, and control appetite with the patented clinical strength ingredients in Hydroxycut. In my opinion, nothing works faster or better.
Get yours today at buyhydroxycut.com or GNC, Walgreens drugstores or supercenters, and look for new advanced Hydroxycut in stores nationwide.
Jeff Clegg's dream machine is an old school chopper, inspired by his days in the Army.
Which is what the guy wants, so that's what he gets. Oh my God. I've never experienced anything like that in my life.
American Choppers Fantasy Bikes, tomorrow night at 10 on the Discovery Channel.
Now picture that, but everywhere.
It's fundamentally altered our DNA.
We're the only ones who can stop it.
Fantastic Four on in-demand pay-per-view. Get it now from Cox Digital Cable.
I'm a carpenter.
His hands get rough as sandpaper.
Gold Bond Ultimate Moisturizing Lotion. 7 intensive moisturizers and 3 vitamins for extremely dry skin.
Now they're almost smoother than mine.
Can your lotion do that?
Gold Bond Ultimate Healing. This stuff really works. You've never seen anything like this before. Not that.
this.
The Icy Hot Medicated Sleeve. Joint-hugging pain relief with medicine that goes on icy to dull the pain, then gets hot to relax it away.
The Icy Hot Sleeve. There's never been anything like it.
Southern Ohio in the summer. The winter wheat crop has been growing since last fall and will be harvested next week. Some of the wheat will meet a different fate. A cadre of students from MIT is bearing down on this prey. They've traveled from Cambridge, Massachusetts, along with a collection of special equipment. The students have agreed to scientifically duplicate the main features of what researchers consider to be authentic crop circles.
The kids at MIT are going to try to replicate some of these changes that we've been documenting for so many years. And then another group of MIT kids is going to evaluate whether or not they accomplished it. The changes that we've decided to look at are the expulsion cavities in the plants. In the soils, we're going to try and replicate these tiny little 20 micron, 30 micron diameter spheres distributed in a linear fashion. If they can pull this off in growing crop, I'll be fascinated. I don't see how they can, but it'll be interesting to see.
The fields south of Carytown were selected because of their similarity to the crops grown in the Milk Hill region in southern England. The students make a quick survey and discover that crop circle hoaxing will not be much of a problem, at least as far as footprints are concerned.
Okay, well, we've come all the way from the Winnebago, so there's been no tracks so far, so I don't think we're gonna have problems.
No, I don't either. I mean, look at these like nice machine-planted rows. You got like
exactly.
6 inches of walking space.
I don't think it's gonna be an issue at all.
The owner of the farm, Jason Boakman, checks on the team. The students need access to a workshop to assemble their crop circle gadgetry. Jason obliges, and they head off to a neighboring structure. The first weapon in their arsenal is the basic crop circle maker, developed by the original hoaxers, Doug and Dave.
You can use some 2x4s just to like mash down big chunks of crop at a time. Wow, that works pretty good.
In another area of the shop, the MIT grad students Zaz and Mark help out their underclassmen by completing an iron meteorite cannon. It will be used to deposit iron particles in the field after the circle is made.
The code, so we are the engineers. We can demolish 40 years. We come all day, come along.
There's a long tail on the funnel. I think we should hand it forward, so why not direction of the airflow.
Is going to be a funnel that is attached to the microwave.
Lisa and Dev make final adjustments on the portable microwave device.
This is the magnetron. Microwaves are generated here. Microwaves travel through this waveguide and into this waveguide, and then come out this end. There's a hole, and are dispersed to the field.
We've got all the different parts of a microwave repackaged, and we put them in this locker box so that it would be easily portable into the field.
Assembly complete. The students prepare to test the microwave unit.
There it goes. Oh.
Something is wrong. The microwave device has caused electronic gear used by the film crew to go haywire.
So what happened? I was just monitoring the audio, and all of a sudden I got this just kind of this weird RF interference, and it literally like sucked all the power out of the batteries. I had just changed these batteries an hour ago, and usually that'll last half a day to a day.
The failure of the video equipment was due to a leaky microwave waveguide. But it is an eerie reminder of the misfortune that other film crews have endured while covering the crop circle beat. It seems that electronic equipment has a difficult time operating in some completed circles, even with no known sources of radiation.
After 10 years in the field, you can't dismiss it any longer. There's no question that there is electrical interference with cell phones, with batteries in cars, camera batteries. We have camera malfunction all the time, where they then become unusable subsequently.
The students test the meteorite cannon. The flames will blast a mixture of iron filings and iron dust, fusing them into small 50-micron particles similar to those found in the BLT crop circle data.
Are you guys hungry?
I'm very hungry.
The Boakman family, in a show of Buckeye hospitality, treats the students and crew to food and homemade pies. They're glad to feed the crew, even if they're not exactly sure about the project.
So what have you heard what's going on here? What'd you hear?
Something about aliens.
The MIT students have already dealt with the first hurdle, the shape.
Yeah, we're gonna do, I guess, this thing first. That's circumference. So Dom and I are gonna head out here. We're gonna go and we're gonna lay out the first circumference, and then we're gonna work our way in.
The incredible designs and shapes of crop circles seem to bewitch people, creating a surprising range of emotional responses.
I think there is something fascinating to me, certainly, intriguing to many, many thousands of people. They are geometry which speaks to intelligence. It speaks to something, albeit a form of nature that knows what it's doing.
These patterns in the fields are said to be taken from geometric shapes used as sacred icons dating back to ancient man and recorded over the centuries by many civilizations, including the Celts, Aborigines, and Native Americans. The connection to historical non-verbal patterns seems to be one reason why crop circles appear to have profound meanings to the observer.
So Dom and I are gonna head out here.
All the equipment is checked out and ready. The final plans will have to guide them through the gauntlet of crop circle construction under pre-agreed-on conditions.
It's getting late, guys. I hope you know that the standard for crop circles is under 4 hours. You think you can make it?
I think we can make it.
We'll see. Yeah, right.
Okay. So everyone grab a board.
Best of luck, guys.
We'll make you proud.
No mag line.
Oh, by the way, there's a ditch.
Oh, thanks.
Welcome.
Dom, Lisa, and Dev quickly learn what circle makers have long known. It's tricky wandering around a field in the middle of the night.
All right, so we're gonna start doing our circling.
Right.
It's kind of not a good thing. I should be in front of you.
With nearly 1 hour elapsed, Dom, Lisa, and Dev begin to get in sync. They have laid out the crop circle and are beginning to fill it in using the rope and board method. They move over the field like a small paramilitary unit, even sharing similar gadgetry such as night vision goggles and global positioning devices. The Army may be more than a metaphor. Many who study circles believe that the real crop circles may in fact have a military connection.
I have spoken to farmers who have been approached and paid money to destroy what has appeared in their fields. I have also spoken to a farmer who was woken in the middle of the night by a loud sound of rotor blades. He looked out of his window, his animals were going crazy, and he saw in that field that night a Chinook helicopter.
The next morning, the farmer discovered a crop circle in the shape of a large insect.
Did this Army helicopter arrive because it knew that something unusual had occurred in the field? I don't know, but I do know this. Doug and Dave stepped forward, and they too claimed the phenomenon.
Nearly half of the 4-hour allotted time has elapsed. Dom, Lisa, and Dev will have to pick up the pace if they're going to complete the formation in time.
Look at us. We made a circle.
You made a damn fine
Wow.
circle. All right.
Your first crop circle.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Yay, we're good, Dev.
Tomorrow night on American Chopper, the fantasy bikes are here.
Oh my God.
Jeff Clegg's dream machine is an old school chopper, inspired by his days in the Army.
Which is what the guy wants, so that's what he gets.
Blast off!
Oh my God.
Yeah, dude!
I've never experienced anything like that in my life. Made my dream come true.
How cool is that, huh? American Choppers Fantasy Bikes, tomorrow night at 10 on the Discovery Channel.
Bacardi guy, cola. We want a cocktail.
But we're watching our carbs.
You should meet his cousin.
Yeah, Diet Coke.
Bacardi and Diet Cola. 0 carbs, 0 sugar. Who wants to party? Who wants to party?
They get the job done. If you gained excess weight during pregnancy and you just can't lose it, Everslim has been doctor formulated just for you. Everslim helps you lose weight and control your appetite while you're awake, and also supports restful nights.
The core ingredients in Everslim help generate up to 3.5 times more weight loss than diet and exercise alone. As a doctor and a mother of 3, I strongly feel that's a weight loss breakthrough.
Get yours today at buyeverslim.com or GNC, Rite Aid, and Supercenters everywhere.
Oh, you're aching back. It's impossible to drive long distances or even do daily activities.
Do you have back pain? I did, and so do thousands of my patients. I'm Dr. William Grosso, and I did something about it. After years of research, I created a solution that my patients swear by.
Introducing Dr. Grosso's Back Relief Belt, a brand new way to relieve minor back pain when you need it most. The Back Relief Belt is a custom lumbar support that you wear, and the secret to its success is the hidden pump that inflates the belt to exactly the support level you need.
I used the highest quality materials when I invented the Back Relief Belt, and with just a few simple pumps, you can create the perfect amount of support and cushion for your back wherever you sit. And with a simple press of the button, the belt easily deflates.
The Back Relief Belt quickly adjusts to any waist size and provides dynamic support right where you need it. It can even be worn under clothing. It's perfect for the car, providing portable relief. It goes with you to the office for all-day comfort. It even goes home when it's time to relax.
You can put it on, and it's instant relief.
Forget about rolled-up pillows. The Back Relief Belt makes every chair your favorite chair. You can get your one-size-fits-all Back Relief Belt for only $19.95 and will also include the Guide to a Pain-Free Back, featuring Dr. Grosso's tips for a strong, healthy back. But that's not all. We'll also send you our reusable hot and cold packs for soothing heat and cooling relief right in your back belt. Yours absolutely free. So pump for custom support. Pump for lasting comfort. Pump for minor back relief everywhere you go.
It's adjustable, you can take it anywhere, and it definitely works.
It works.
It absolutely works.
To order Dr. Grosso's Back Relief Belt for just $19.95, call 1-800-842-7650. The back belt pumps to create the perfect size support every time. Order now and get the reusable hot and cold packs and Dr. Grosso's guide absolutely free. Call now.
Up next on the Discovery Channel, uncover governmental secrets as you stroll through a graveyard of experimental aircraft on Return to Area 51. Let's all discover why no myth is safe, as Jamie and Adam leave no urban legend untested. New Mythbusters, Wednesday at 9 on the Discovery Channel.
This crop circle is complete and has been done in winter wheat. Crop circles, as their name implies, are circles formed in different types of crops. But researchers claim that this title is not nearly broad enough to explain the wide variety of locations where circle formations can be found.
The media basically named them, and that's what we are now sort of pretty well stuck with, inferring they all appear on crops, which is actually not the case. It is the whole range of cereal crops are involved. We have had a number of incidences in trees. There are cases of geometries appearing in snow, and indeed outside of MIT itself in Boston.
Ice circles and snow circles have been photographed and documented. There have been rumors of sand formations, cloud circles, and even unusual livestock movements. But unlike their more flamboyant cousin, the crop circle, these alternative circles remain largely unresearched. Back at their crop circle camp in southern Ohio, MIT students Dom, Lisa, and Dev are ready for the next phase of the experiment. Some scientists have discovered expulsion cavities on the plant nodes in crops found within the circle. How these anomalies have occurred continues to baffle the scientific community. While unusual things have been documented, it remains to be seen what is causing these occurrences. Over the decades, many theories have been presented. Some scientists believe the answers may be found in little understood Earth phenomena. These upper atmospheric energy discharges are known as red sprites and blue jets. They were only discovered in the 1990s. Perhaps a cousin of the sprites or blue jets is responsible for crop circles. Theories involving plasma vortices seem to dominate.
One is a plasma vortex, which is a rotating field of electrified air, which illuminates, can be seen at night, and could account, it is suggested, for some of the UFO activity.
The problem with that theory is a lot of these looked very patterned and very regular and a little too even for Mother Nature to create.
Another group has come out with a different theory. The Midwest Research Group holds the belief that most of the circles are indeed made by man as a sacred art form.
Simple circles randomly appear all over the planet and have been for hundreds of years. But the elaborate pictorial graphic designs are the work of human pagan artists, and they're anarchists.
Right now I'm turning on the microwave, and it's actually on, so just stand back a little bit.
Dom wears chainmail under his clothes to protect himself from the scattering microwaves. Because the group is concerned about knocking out our crew's video equipment and possibly nearby cell phone towers, Dom keeps the waveguide aimed straight into the ground. The radiation from the microwave gun simulates the conditions found in other circles. We know what's happening in this field in Ohio. But what can explain these conditions in other regions? It certainly is possible that crop circle hoaxers have access to magnetrons and silver-coated flexible waveguides and laboratories to tune up the microwaves, but it is a long way to go for a prank. Microwaving the field took longer than expected. With little more than 20 minutes left in their challenge, Dom, Lisa, and Dev move on to the meteor cannon, which in MIT tradition, they have renamed in German gibberish.
The Flammschmeißer. Oftentimes in crop circles you find these small rounded iron particles, and we're going to use this instrument, the Flammschmeißer, to duplicate that effect. It's going to shoot out a shower of iron particles into this flaming propane ring here and distribute them over the field. John, do you want to get a shot of us putting it on?
Josh, are we going to take it with extinguishers?
Yeah, please. Perfect.
And let me know, give me a sign.
In the meteor cannon, a high-temperature flame is bombarded with a 100-mile-per-hour airstream doped with iron powder and iron filings. The flames blast and liquefy the iron, causing it to form into 50-micron charred spheres, such as might be found in naturally occurring meteorite showers. How or why real crop circles have more of these particles than the rest of the planet is a puzzle that the students are not trying to answer. Their job is only to build a crop circle to specs in 4 hours, and that goal may be slipping away. They are simply running out of time. Manually seeding the crop circle with iron particles is too slow. They will have to come up with a faster method, and they have less than 5 minutes in which to accomplish it. Could this long journey be devolving into a fiasco? The only chance the MIT students have is to resurrect an experiment discarded because of high risk of fire.
Mike, you're knocking on the door this time. I'm not knocking on the door. And I'm pushing you in. Get off of me. Come on, they're going to see you through the window.
So are we saying anything in particular?
Surprise! You gotta be kidding me. Hey! Oh my God! Oh, freaking
Is this for real or what?
Rebuild your bike?
No way! This is amazing.
Tomorrow at 10 Eastern Pacific, only on the Discovery Channel.
Are you carrying extra weight around your stomach, thighs, or buttocks?
Stressed out?
Smart Burn with Hoodia is a scientific weight loss breakthrough with ingredients that burn fat, control your appetite, while promoting relaxation to manage stress. 2 clinical studies show with the key ingredients in Smart Burn, you can lose up to 450% the weight than following a diet and exercise plan alone.
So troublesome spots won't be a problem because Smart Burn helps you achieve total body weight loss fast. Get yours today at buysmartburn.com or at GNC, Walgreens, drugstores, or supercenters everywhere.
With Vonage, I talk as much as I want and pay a lot less. It's just $24.99 a month, and that includes voicemail, caller ID, 3-way calling, and a lot more. The voice quality's great, and I even get to keep my same phone and phone number. I've had Vonage for 4 months. Should have gotten it a long time ago.
We're not out to change the world, just the way you talk to it. Sign up now and get your first month free. Call 1-800-939-4VON. High-speed internet connection required.
8 million American men have diabetes. 29 million have high blood pressure. 50 million have high cholesterol. Many men with these medical conditions have one thing in common. Their love life just isn't what it used to be. If this sounds like you, call 1-800-980-1957 or go to mensfacts.com for your free Men's Facts Kit. You'll get a booklet about how diabetes, high blood pressure, or high cholesterol may lead to a medical condition that could affect your love life. Plus, you'll get tips to help you talk to your doctor and learn about a medicine that can help. If you have diabetes, high blood pressure, or high cholesterol, your love life could be affected. So get the facts. Call 1-800-980-1957 or visit mensfacts.com. You'll be glad you did. Call 1-800-980-1957 or visit mensfacts.com today.
They say I'm getting old for my sport. My children, my wife, they are my life. Everything I do is for them. I have to keep riding. I have to keep giving.
Found a reason.
Meet the men who make a living defying death. Experience life beyond the ball. Tuesday at 9 on TLC.
Do you love spending hours working out at the gym? If you do, the Total Gym is not for you.
But if you want one of the fastest, most effective workouts ever, then the Total Gym is for you.
For our 10th anniversary, we have an incredible deal.
You can try the Total Gym in your home for an entire month, risk-free.
We'll ship you a Total Gym at our expense. If you don't see a remarkable change, just send it back, and we'll return every penny you were charged. But if you're like most of us, once you try it, you'll never want to be without it again.
Just 1 year on the Total Gym and I've lost 45 pounds.
So take our risk-free challenge and get the body you've always wanted. Why go to the gym when you can own one?
Call the number on your screen for our anniversary special. Try the Total Gym in your home risk-free for 60 days. We'll pay shipping and handling. Call now.
Centuries, we myths and urban legends have remained undisturbed, but now we're being exposed, and I'm, how you say, freaked out. People say to me, Bigfoot, who is doing this? It is the Mythbusters. First with the pub rocks and colas and the poodle in the microwave. It's only a matter of time before they get to me. To me!
Let's all discover why no myth is safe. New Mythbusters, Wednesday at 9 on the Discovery Channel.
Perhaps it is because I am Canadian.
Only a few weeks ago, Dom, Lisa, and Dev were sophomores attending MIT in Cambridge, Massachusetts. They accepted a challenge to create a crop circle with all of the scientific trimmings and do it at night in less than 4 hours' time. They traveled to southern Ohio with 2 graduate students, Mark and Zaz, and a specially outfitted motorhome that would allow the planning and testing of the results. Dom, Lisa, and Dev laid out the crop circle according to traditional methods. Next, they blasted the wheat with microwaves to simulate a plant defect commonly found on bona fide crop circle sites. With little more than 20 minutes left, they began seeding the circle with iron particles, the last task on the list. But they're out of time. With less than 2 minutes left, they decide to try a desperate move incorporating an experiment discarded earlier that night.
This actually will give a nice radial distribution of any particulate that we place within it, and it will also raise the temperature to such a degree as to melt it to produce the iron filing characteristics that we've seen in other reported crop circle incidents.
Dom, Lisa, and Dev have wired up a pyrotechnic device that has been tested only once before. If it works, iron particles will be distributed in a linear pattern over the circumference of the crop circle. If it doesn't work, then weeks of preparation will be lost.
Okay. Caution, come on down. 5.
They start the countdown barely ahead of the master clock. If it misfires, there's no time to fix it.
4, 3, 2, 1. Tell us next call.
Southern Ohio has a temporary feature that connects it to a great mystery. Crop circles are found all over the world, and in many different shapes. The MIT students patterned this circle after Kresge Hall on their campus in Cambridge, Massachusetts. Other crop circles are formed in many different shapes, and the phenomenon is not even limited to crops. The activity around the MIT students' crop circle has subsided. Inside the motorhome, it's a time for sleep. Weeks of preparation are over. The students have crashed. Dev stretches out on the bed, Lisa snoozes with her ever-present book, and Dom, unable to stop working on the project, has collapsed on top of their crop circle plans. Meanwhile, at a nearby helipad, graduate students Mark and Zaz begin their analysis from the air. Even though Mark and Zaz knew who made the crop circle, it was still a sight to behold, conjuring complex emotions from something as simple as fallen wheat.
Excellent. Got a good look at the geometry we couldn't get from on the ground. The thing's more complex than it looks from just sitting there on the ground.
As the helicopter circled around for another pass, the unthinkable happened. They lost power. The pilot auto-rotated, and just as suddenly, the power returned. Was this a coincidence or something more ominous? Other aerial surveys of crop circles have complained of strange events occurring in the air above the formations.
There was a case that is the most interesting one I know in England very recently. The photographer was in a helicopter. At 500 feet, she started to notice the image breaking up in her digital camera. As the helicopter descended to 300 feet, the digital image lost color entirely. As the plane went back up to 500 feet, the image came back in full color. I have no idea how to explain that.
The aerial survey complete, they returned to the landing pad for debriefing.
We made an initial approach and I took some photos, and then almost immediately as we approached the crop circle, we started to lose a lot of altitude. The helicopter dropped almost down to the deck, and Jason managed to pull it up a few feet off the turf, and we continued on.
For some reason, it just, the RPMs, my engine RPMs dropped off to nothing, and I had to drop the collective and go into an auto, but she came out all right.
Mark and Zaz return to the base and feed the digital photos into the onboard computer. Mark calculates the size and surface area, testing whether or not the ratios are true to the original design.
How's the radiation levels look? Still clear.
Mark and Zaz conduct a field radiation survey. The instrument, similar to a Geiger counter, will read out the ambient radiation levels.
Nothing.
They didn't expect to find anything unusual, dispelling some beliefs that the shape of the circles themselves can generate energy.
Let's go get the surveying equipment out. Take care of that next.
All right.
Excellent.
Next, Mark and Zaz transcribe a grid onto the field.
Looks like the microwave paid off.
Once the grid is in place, they systematically begin the survey.
Expulsion cavity, grid square, 2-1.
First, with the wheat plants.
So that looks like the same things that we've seen in those documents.
Each sample will be labeled and recorded into a database for statistical comparisons. In addition to plant specimens, Mark and Zaz take a collection of soil samples in linear formations both inside and outside the circle.
Actually, where did we notice these expulsions? Which sections were these out of?
It was in 2-1 in the main circle.
Excellent, excellent. Did we find any outside? I know
No.
of the samples.
No expulsion cavities outside the crop circle.
So what were the results of the dirt samples that I brought you?
So this one's from outside the all the crop circle geometry, and we picked up no ferrous particles from in here. That's just sticking to the thing. Over here, this one is from 3/4 position inside the main structure.
Excellent.
And we picked up a lot of ferrous material. Wow. You can see it here sticking to the magnet.
In all, the MIT grad students confirmed that the 3 underclassmen were successful in their efforts. They got the crop circle shape they were after, they created the expulsion cavities, and they deposited the iron particles. So what grade did they get?
I would probably say somewhere around a B+ range, maybe B-. It's somewhere in that range. And they do that for a couple of reasons. The first is, the geometry is excellent. I mean, again, it's over 300 feet long and 100 feet wide. It's a very large crop circle, and after hearing how quick they did it in, I was very impressed by that. But if we were to take the previous results about the iron particles and some of the expulsions and the variations in sizes and bending that we've read about these, if we were to take those results as being true, we didn't quite find as many of those as we'd hoped for.
I think that I'd go along with Mark on not giving 100% across the board, but I'd give an A-. I think that the size of this crop circle, the fact that they'd never attempted to even make a crop circle before, this is a first attempt. A lot of the things were right, and it was a large-scale attempt that was pulled off with pretty much flying colors, so A-.
What was the experience like?
Crop circles were actually really a lot of fun to make. Like, it was great wandering around here in the wee hours of the night with some night vision goggles on, just, like tripping over ourselves and flattening out crops.
Interestingly enough, it is really a design project. As an engineer, we try and solve problems not unlike this one.
Well, I was really surprised at how much simpler the actual physical labor of crushing down the crops was. I was expecting that to be the most, time-consuming part. But once we got going and figured out where the bugs were, we were able to make that a pretty good process. And, our real time and effort went into creating the special effects with the iron and the microwaving.
I think crop circle